Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. How is everybody doing?
And good
Good.
evening, sir.
How are you?
Great, great, great. Happy Friday to everyone. It's Friday, so no matter how the week went, we are getting into the weekend, so it's always good. Hopefully, everybody had a decent week. And tonight, we are going to have a very interesting discussion. And like I always say, you are definitely going to have something for your $2. So we are going to begin time now. Kindly give me a second. So before we begin, unfortunately, we've lost one of our family members, one of our colleagues. I would say Emmanuel, and for those on the WhatsApp platform, it's been posted. So at least I think Emmanuel was in, if I remember correctly, or if my memory serves me right. 2022, he was in one of our he was entry level students, and then also in the internship. I remember he was in the cohort of Michael Yeboah, Dominic, Dennis, and others. So, anybody who was in that cohort around 2022, probably September, October, November, thereabout, you might know Emmanuel. Emmanuel Anefi Man, I think, was the full name. So before we begin, I think we'll observe a minute silent for Emmanuel, and we are waiting to get more information from the family, and we are going to post it. So let's observe a minute of silence for Emmanuel, and may his soul rest in perfect peace. So a minute of silence. All right, so may Emmanuel also rest in perfect peace. We are going to kick off here from that sad note. And on the platform, like I said, all follow-up information. I think the flyer was posted, but it was mistakenly deleted. But it's going to be posted again. So we are starting off time now. Now tonight, we are going to be discussing cybersecurity certifications, one of the key conversations for every cybersecurity professional, because there's always, that conversation about which certification is best for me, for which career path, which ones are, paying more money than others. So we are going to discuss all that tonight, and I can promise you, you are going to get something new for your toolbox. Right. So I'm Dr. Emmanuel Adu. I'm going to be your sole pilot for tonight. I'm the CEO of Eretmis Inc., a cybersecurity consulting firm based out of New York. We are also a PCI QSA company, so we do PCI audits. We also do other cybersecurity contracts for states and federal agencies. And I'm also the founder of Eretmis Academy. And Eretmis Academy, we train cybersecurity professionals. We also offer community educational cybersecurity education and awareness training, like what we do every Friday night. And I'm a former professor at University of Maryland Global Campus and Central Texas College. I'm also a member of the Forbes Technology Council and a former United States Army captain. So enough about myself. Now for Eretmis Academy, we are partners with CompTIA. We are authorized CompTIA partners. And what this means is that CompTIA gives us 20% discount on all vouchers, and we push that down to everyone in our family, and then our students also as well. So if you are looking to sit for any CompTIA exams, kindly reach out, and we are going to, give you the directions on that. So, and for anyone with any certification, every 3 years you have to renew your certification. And you can do that in two ways, either by resitting for the exam or doing what we call continuous education. And if you do that, you are going to get what we call CEUs or CPEUs, continuing education points, and attending cyber chat like this. Every hour counts as one CEU, CPU, depending on which certification body you that you have your certification from, right? So all you need is in the chat, put in there Team Live and take a screenshot of it, whether on your phone or if you are joining us online. And you can use that for your certification. There's that screenshot. You can use that to count towards your CEUs or CPUs, CPEs. Now, Eretmis, we have our WhatsApp group for Cyber Chat WhatsApp group. The link will be posted as we are moving on for tonight's discussion. And then also kindly put in the chat where you're joining us from, and we are going to give you some shout out once we are done. Our YouTube channel, we are also transmitting live on YouTube. So you can join us on YouTube whenever you are unable to join us live on Zoom. And with that, we are going to jump into our favorite session, cyber news. So we have a couple of interesting and some newsworthy cyber news that is going to help you on a personal level, and then also for your family as well, right? So the first one and then there's a one that I think is funny. We are also going to look at that. So first one, for everybody on here, you are using a router. If you are not using your phone, or even if you're with your phone, you might probably be using Wi-Fi. So you are using a router of a sort to, use internet at home. Now there is a news out there or a warning or a caution by FBI, and they are saying that for old or outdated Wi-Fi routers, they have some vulnerabilities that attackers can easily use to exploit these routers. And some of these routers, old ones from Link 6, Cradle Point, and Cisco, they are the ones that they listed as the ones with these vulnerabilities. So if your router is old, you've used it for the past 10 years, for the past whatever years, and you've not changed it, now it might be the best time to look into changing it, because if not, attackers can easily breach your outdated router, get onto your network, and it's not just them getting onto your network, but they can actually use you as a proxy. Like, so what we mean by a proxy is that they are going to, use your IP address to do bad stuff on the net, right? So they can do a bunch of illegal activities using your network, right? Going off your network to make it look like you are the one doing that, right? So it's simply like you giving your password to somebody to log into your Wi-Fi, and they are using your Wi-Fi to do some bad stuff online, right? So maybe you might be thinking, if they hack into my network, what do I have to really protect, right? Maybe not that much, but if they are using you to steal from other sites and they get caught, it's going to be traced to you, right? Not them. And at that point, it's going to be hard to really defend yourself or wiggle your way out of that. You might be able to, but why all that headache, right? So the advice is for you to update your routers. So replace them, or you have to update them if it's impossible for you to replace them, right? And then also disable remote access. Now, if maybe you're not very familiar with how to go into the configuration of your router. If you turn the back of your routers, they might have the instructions on there. Mostly they have a private IP address at the back there, maybe 192 dot something. If you go to that, put that in your URL, it will take you to the page, the configuration page, and you'll be able to update or make updates, and then also if you are using default passwords, you shouldn't be using that. So you can change that and then also disable your remote access. If you really don't understand everything that I'm saying, You can go online and Google. There's going to be a step by step on exactly how to do this, right? So this is to protect yourself. Now, the funny cyber news that we have this week is that a hacking, I'll say, well, a hacking company, right? Lockbit, for those in the security space, you might be familiar with Lockbit. So this company has been, or if it's a company or a malicious company, they've been causing a lot of problems in the cybersecurity space or in the business space. They they are hackers who hack into companies and encrypt their data and ask them for money. Now, the funny part about this is they got hacked themselves, right? The hacking company or the thieves, they got stolen from this time around. So a notorious ransomware group called Lockbit, it appears they were hacked, I think this week or somewhere last week. And we got to know this through their dark web website. You know, that website was what was hacked, and there was an inscription on there that says "Do not do crime. Crime is bad," and this really is a big blow to them because if you are portraying yourself and as the bad guys who are hacking uh, companies, innocent companies, and taking money from them, and you get hacked and now they were not just hacked, but some of their key information has been reviewed through this, right? How they deal, some of their conversations between them and their victims has been published or has been exposed through this. And then also some of the activities and things they do has also been exposed. So this casts some doubt on their credibility now as hackers, malicious hackers. And also, I think, or we believe, probably going to slow them down or have some issues on the operations, right? So, yet more uh, to come from that news. Now, the next, this is our third cyber news for tonight, is Android in the news. Now, for all Android users on here, it behooves you to make sure you're updating your phone because also there is a vulnerability alert out there. So Google is urging all Android users to update their devices immediately due to the emergence of dangerous security vulnerabilities that they've identified. Now, the latest update that Android has sent out contains or to help to address about 50 security issues. So if you don't really do this update, it means you are vulnerable to all sort of attacks that, some of these attackers might try to take advantage of 50 security issues that were identified. So, and at least one vulnerability is reported to have been targeted. And so I mean, for phones that you're using now, they're supposed to be able to receive updates. Now, if you have jailbreak your phone or you have uh, on so I'll say jailbreak your phone, uh, and because you want to download some apps that are not in the App Store or in the Google Play Store, then you might be vulnerable to this because you're not going to receive updates, right? So once you jailbreak your phone, you wouldn't be able to receive updates or even update your phone. So, but for phones that have not been jailbroken, they can go ahead and do these updates. So you don't have to wait for the update to appear on your phone. You can go to your settings and go to systems, and you are going to see check for the most recent updates, and you'll be able to see that and do the update, right? So this is also to protect you and your family. So not just you, if you have family members using Android, you should let them know this, right? So before we jump into our interesting discussion for tonight, for folks looking to jump in front of the AI train, become AI specialist, AI governance specialist. We have the best AI specialist course, AI governance specialist course. Now, for all cybersecurity professionals, those who are currently here working and aspiring cybersecurity professionals, it's good to have AI governance under your belt as well, because that is where everything is shifting to. And in the very near future, all cybersecurity roles are going to have slash AI governance attached to it. So you better get ahead of this before it is too late. And for cloud security, cyberspace, almost everybody, all companies, they have something in the cloud. They are doing something in the cloud. And as a security professional, it is advisable, or it is highly encouraged that you know how to do your job in the cloud as well. So moving in the cloud to be able to protect and put in place different measures and strategies to help in securing the cloud. Now, all these two trainings, the AI and the cloud, they all come with the training and the internship, very hands-on. So you are going to learn a lot. Now, the cloud program is vendor neutral. So we cover AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, right? And when it comes to strategy and concepts, everything you are learning, you can apply in the other, cloud environments. Now, the internship covers all these three major cloud providers. So you are going to be moving around in these three major cloud providers. Now, for folks looking to begin their journey as cybersecurity professionals, we encourage you to look into our cybersecurity entry-level course. The entry-level course comes with, is a 4 months program, 2 months of training, 2 months of doing cybersecurity projects, right? So everything starts with knowledge, but then if you gain the knowledge and you don't use it or you don't do any projects, then it's just going to be knowledge on the job. We are looking for not just your knowledge, but also for your skills in terms of what you can do, projects you've worked on. That is what employers are looking for, right? So it's not just purely knowledge. If you are asked to discuss, or if you're asked to perform risk assessment, it's not you defining risk assessment and the different components of risk assessment. It's actually how you are going to do the job, right? So on the job, like I always say in a funny way, there are no multiple choice answers to choose from. You actually have to do the job, right? And even during interviews, employers are not looking for definitions or how you understand concepts. They go beyond that, right? So they want to know what you have done. And if you've never done something, you can only talk so much about it, only for them to know you've not really done, right? So look into our entry level course, very comprehensive, and this gives you the foundation for everything you are going to do in cybersecurity, right? And then for folks who would like to sit at the big table with the big boys, if you are already in cybersecurity already, if you're already in cybersecurity or you are in IT already, then we encourage you to look into our payment security compliance program. Now, this is arguably the most lucrative niche within the cybersecurity space. And as we move through the certifications, you are going to see why, right? So this program is also very hands-on training, and then you are going to jump into our internship and work on real-world projects as well. Now, our GRC internship is starting on the 24th. The new cohort is starting on the 24th. And this is open to everyone. If you've done some GRC program elsewhere, you've gone through college, you have a degree, you have a master's degree, but you are lacking the hands-on, how the job is really done, this is the place to be, right? Now, you're not going to get this anywhere. Even if you get traditional internship with any of these companies, when you go there, they expect you to, be able to know and do something, right? They are not there necessarily to teach you everything from scratch. So if you are lucky to have a mentor, at least what they are doing, they will show you what they are doing. But that is all that you are going to know. But here you are going to go through and work on 10 major projects, right? In the security space, if maybe let's say right now, Michael, your boy is a GRC manager. If we attach you to Michael, all you are going to do is what Michael is doing for traditional internship, right? So if Michael is not working on conducting an audit, Michael is not doing a third-party risk assessment, Michael is not doing risk assessment, Michael is not doing incident response, you are not going to do any of that, right? If the only thing Michael is doing is third party is all you're going to do for the 3 or 4 months that you are there, right? And even with that, he's giving you bits and pieces of the job to do, not all of it. But here you get a chance to go through every single project from start to finish, and you're actually doing it, right? So we encourage you to look into this if you are prepping yourself to get onto the job market, to interview. during interviews, what are you going to talk about? It's not about multiple choice. It's not about the definition of things. It's about what you can do, right? So we encourage you to look into this also as well. So our WhatsApp group, we talked about that already. YouTube channel, we encourage you to subscribe. And also everything that we do on Friday nights is on YouTube. So you can go back and review, look at the videos or rewatch the videos. Now we are jumping into highest paying cybersecurity certifications for 2025. So before we jump in, like we always do, for people who might be a bit new to the cybersecurity space, what is a cybersecurity certification? Will my degree in cybersecurity count as a cybersecurity certification, or will the uh, certificate of completion that I got from Udemy count as a cybersecurity certification? Or what are we really talking about when we say cybersecurity certification? So for cybersecurity certification is a professional credential, right? If you want to look at it that way, that is supposed to, so I'm saying it is supposed to, that is supposed to validate your knowledge and skill and expertise in specific areas of cybersecurity, right? And why am I saying that is supposed to? Because now there are people parading around cybersecurity certifications who didn't get them the right way. And what do I mean by that? Some people, there are a gang that is writing cybersecurity certifications for other people. I don't know the reasoning behind that because if I write the pilot certification for you and you pass and you have the pilot license, what are you going to fly? You see where I'm getting with this? But some people do it and they think, and that is the reason why we are going to go through the foundation and the basics of the certifications before we jump into the ones that are high paying, right? So these certifications, if you get them the right way, and what is the right way? Taking your time to study for the certification, acquiring the knowledge that is supposed to be halved for the certification, right? Not just taking a shortcut to pass the certification. Because if you just pass the certification, then it's just that piece of paper that you are holding. You can't defend anything when it comes to that certification. So if you went the right route, you studied for it, you researched, and you actually passed on your own merits, then this is validation of your personal knowledge. So keyword here is personal knowledge, skill, and expertise in whichever area that certification is covering, right? So for people who are paying money for other people to write certifications for, I don't know what they are smoking, but you are deceiving yourselves and you are wasting your money in the first place, right? Now, certifications are awarded by recognized organizations. Now, let me break this down. Uh, some people think in the cybersecurity space, things run just like how uh, things run in the legal space or in the health space for nurses and doctors. But here is a bit different, right? There is no one body that is assigned or that has been blessed off to administer certifications or certification exams. So there are different companies, different organizations that are administering certifications. Now, some are popular than others. Some are more recognized, and they are more recognized simply because they've been in the industry for longer, right? So they've been pushing their certification exams for a very long time, and everybody has come to embrace them. That doesn't make them any better than a company that started today, trying to push another certification system going on, right? And anybody and everybody can come up with a certification scheme. So I want that to be clear, right? Any company can come up with their own, but companies who started earlier, they kind of have more goodwill within the industry. So when we say industry recognized, it's not a body like the State Bar or the nursing exams group or whoever is in charge of that. It is not like that in the cybersecurity space, right? These are private organizations that are running this, right? Now, with that out of the way, uh, the certifications that are being admitted, there are different companies that are doing this, right? We have ISC Square, ISACA, name them, the list goes on, right? So these certifications, they are awarded by certifications body, recognized organizations after you have passed their exam. Now, that also it applies to some certifications, not all of them, right? So mostly for the advanced certifications like CISA, CISSP, and others, just passing the exams is not enough. You have to show that you have at least 5 years of working experience before they fully certify you and say you have their certification. But if you just pass the exam, you become an associate. But for certifications, for the entry level certifications and mid level, like Security Plus, Security Analyst, and others, once you pass the exam, you've passed the exam, you have the certification, right? So hopefully that is clear. If you are new to the cybersecurity space, that is how things work in the security space, right? So with that, any questions on this before we proceed? All right. So uh, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt the flow there, but when it comes to the certifications, uh, on a scale of 1 to 100%, how much would you say a Security Plus certification or something like that actually helps someone get into a cybersecurity role?
Okay. So I think Michael is getting ahead of us. We are going to get there next.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, good. But good question. So the last bullet on here says certifications they are supposed to serve as a benchmark for employers to assess your qualification. But you see the question mark on there? Not really, right? So certifications, they have a part to play, but certifications is not, all be all, right? In some instances, they don't care about certifications. In other instances, you need to have it, right? And we are going to discuss all that tonight. So it is very clear. Now, let's move to, so these are some of the popular certifications, Security Plus, CISSP, OSCP, and others. So depending on where you normally play within the cybersecurity space, you might be familiar with some of these. If you don't play in a certain area, you might not really be familiar with, others. So our certifications, a mandatory requirement for a cybersecurity job. Uh, any takers on here? I know there are some folks from the Eretmis family who are working, and you can speak from your own experience. Is it mandated to have a certification before you can get a job, or what is the take on this? You can raise your virtual hand, and we give you.
I mean, 90% no.
Okay, so Bobby said 90% no. Anybody else? All right, so I think the only Lama, please go ahead.
Yes, I think a lot of cybersecurity jobs, even the entry level ones, do require some sort of certification just to get an interview. I'm not sure if they really require it or they're just putting it there so they can reduce the number of candidates.
Okay, okay, so good you brought that up. Now, uh, so let me break this also down for everyone. So if you see uh, every job, every job description that you're going to see will have some certification requirements on there, right? And that is normal practice. That doesn't make it mandatory. That is a normal practice. So right now, if you were HR and you were listing, I just told you, Eretmis needs a cybersecurity analyst, and you have to put a job description out there to attract candidates. The format is to one, describe our company, what we do. Two, describe the role that we are looking to fill, and then we'll move into what the candidate is going to do, right? Or the team the candidate is going to be part of. of all those will be like kind of the summary of the job description. And then we move into the duties of the candidate. So what you would do, and they'll list everything. Okay, you do A, you do B, you do risk assessment, vulnerability scans, right? They'll list all that. Now, once they're done with that, they'll move into skills that are needed, right? So you should have this, you should have that, you should have that. Then they'll move into qualifications. So that is where they'll put maybe a degree in this, a degree in that, and then they'll put some certifications. You should have a certification in this, a certification in that, right? So if you are HR and you are filling this out, when it comes to certification, you are not going to leave it blank. At least you have to put something. So at least a degree when it comes to industry certifications that you are going to put at least security plus something, right? And most of the times they just borrow from each other. So you copy from Lama's job description and I'll tailor it to a company, or I'll copy from this one. So that doesn't make it a requirement, or that doesn't make it mandatory. Because when somebody applies without the certifications listed on there, or without the degree listed on there, that person will equally be given an interview. Somebody else will apply with a certification, they also be given the interview, right? Now, mostly the trick to getting an interview is not even necessarily your certification or your degree, is having the right amount of keywords from the job description on your resume. That is what is going to get you the interview. You can have all the certifications you want, and all those certifications are listed in there. But if the job is not logged in certifications, then you are not going to get called, right? So they will list it in every single job description, but that doesn't mean it's mandatory, right? So sometimes, most of the times, it's nice to have. If you have it, it's good. If you don't, they are indifferent, right? Mostly, they are much more about what you can do. Now, the answer to the question is no. So certifications, they are not a straight requirement, right, for all jobs. Now we are going to look at some jobs that have a strict certification requirement. So, stay with the flow. Now, but for the most part, it's not a strict requirement. So if you have it, yes. If you don't, it's not going to really take anything away from you, right? Now, also, with that being said, that doesn't mean you shouldn't pursue any certification as a cybersecurity professional. Most especially if you are starting off. Once you finish your training, you do some hands-on, some internship. Your next goal, whilst you're applying for jobs and doing interviews, you should also be prepping yourself to at least sit for Security Plus, because it is not just for the employer or to look good on the resume. It is going to help you as an individual in terms of broadening your knowledge base and testing yourself, right? So that is why I always stress on using the right channel to really pass the certification. Because one, you are not only going to be proud of yourself, but you will know that you know. Hopefully that makes sense, right? You are proud of yourself because you've actually studied and you went through, and during the exams, you understood the questions and you answered them on your own merits. You are not just memorizing test answers. So if you look at the question, you're like, okay, SSH, D. If you do that, you're only deceiving yourself, because you pass the exam, but then we ask you a simple, basic question from anybody who is supposed to have that certification, and now you are running in circles talking about you don't have a working experience. And what I'm asking you is not about working experience, it's knowledge from the body of knowledge that you need to pass that certification, right? Now, granted, there is a lot that you have to know for each of these certifications. You are not going to know all of them, but at least you have a good working knowledge. That is what we are always shooting for, right? Especially if you are new into the security space, there is a lot of things being thrown at you. You are looking at networking, cryptography, identity, and all these, individual areas with that, you are really going to go in details. So yes, a lot of it is being thrown at you, but you should have a working knowledge. So you are not going to master all of it once, but at least the basics, the fundamentals, you should understand how they all move, right? And if you have that, you'll be able to pass most of these certifications, especially the entry level and mid level, right? Now, With that being said, I think there is a hand up. Silo, please go ahead. You are muted if you're trying to speak. You are still muted if you're trying to speak, or are we just going to move on? Yes, kindly go ahead.
May I speak?
Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead.
And my question, thank you to give me the word. And my question is, we can just move in from CompTIA A plus GH for cybersecurity analyst.
Say that again. Can you just move from CompTIA A plus to
Cybersecurity analyst.
uh, well, there's really no requirement necessarily moving from A plus to cybersecurity analyst certification. To move, I would
Yes.
say write security plus first before you jump for security analyst. Because in the CompTIA hierarchy of certifications, in the cybersecurity space, it starts with security plus, and then the next tier, which is the intermediate level, is cybersecurity analyst and pen test, right? And right after that is CAPS plus, right? So it, if you sit for security plus, it will give you a very good foundation in cybersecurity. So now when you are jumping to security analyst, it's not going to be as difficult, right? And security plus, really, when it comes to technical cybersecurity knowledge, is more difficult than CISSP, CISA, even I would say security analyst when it comes to pure cybersecurity knowledge, technical cybersecurity knowledge. Security plus is it. So if you pass security plus and you pass it well, unknowingly to you, you have about 60 to 70% of all that the other certifications will require of you, right? So if you are prepping for security plus, don't take it for granted. No, just let me just pass this and go my way. Not just passing it. And for those who have passed and don't remember how you passed, right, or how you're able to scale it because you don't remember half of the things you studied, if you've passed already, go back to the books. Now you are not prepping for an exam. You'll be in a more relaxed state. Try to make sure you are going through to understand it at this time, at this point, right? Because you're not rushing to pass any exams, and that is one trick around it, right? So now let's move on with when are certifications. So certifications, if they are not mandated, what are employers looking for, right? So for entry level roles, mostly they are looking for your hands-on skills. So you should have gone through some internship or you should have gone through some workshop working on some projects. They will take that over certifications. So like I was responding to Lama. Yes, and this is not also to say, like I said, you shouldn't be pushing for certifications. You should for professional development, right? But employers, they are looking really for what you can do and what you've done, right? So projects that you've worked on, like what we do in the GRC internship, right? And other programs that we have, we always believe in knowing is the first point of call, but doing is the last point of call to be able to perform effectively on the job, right? So, and everything that we do in our internship is structured to exactly what you are going to be facing on the job. And we also push you and make you critical thinkers when it comes to the doing portion, because on the job, you're not going to be a robot. Different companies have different situations. So, whatever route you want to take in the security space, you have to be able to defend it. Like I always say, if I ask right now, how do you defend a network, or what are some of the things you can do to protect your network? There is no one right answer. Everybody can give me a list of things, but every single thing that you choose or every answer that you give, you should be able to defend why. That is the critical thinking part of security, right? So you should be able to walk me through the thought process and how it's going to help us. And that will really let me know that you know what you're talking about, right? And that will also bring to bear your working knowledge in cybersecurity, right? So hold your horses right there. Silo, we'll move on and I'll give you the floor to come back in again. And then also for when certifications are not mandated, startup companies, small companies, they are looking more for practical, your practical abilities, right? What you can actually do than certifications. And then also, if you have some, labs that you do, like in the entry level, you go through, you set up your own cybersecurity lab, you work with different tools, you work on hands-on projects, personal blog. So some people are cataloging what they are doing on LinkedIn and other places. That can also be chosen over certifications. And then for professionals who are learning on the job, also that experience and demonstrated skills can also kind of scale you over certifications as well, right? So, and if you look through the list here, is exactly this, everything that we're looking at. So the focus is on experience, specific skills, and then portfolio of projects that you've worked on, right? Now, with that, we are going to move into when are certifications mandated? So, certificate, there are some jobs, there is no way around it. You should have that certification. It's a natural requirement. And some of these jobs, the easy part about it is if you have the certification and you don't even know what you are doing, they will still bring you on board, and I'm going to explain why. Right. So for government and defense jobs, it is a hard requirement. You need it. There are some government jobs that need 3 CISP SSPs, 2 Security Plus, maybe 3 CISA, three. So the certifications that they need, the harder it is to get the certification, the more likely they are to pick somebody with a certification who don't know what they are doing. And this is not to say maybe people just fall through the cracks, but that is really the reality. And that is why some people think paying others to write a certification for you will get you the job. Now it will get you the job, all right. So let's say our company, we have a government contract, and the government contract requires to have 3 people with Security Plus, 2 people with CISSP, and we are in a hurry to meet that requirement. So we bring you on board because you have CISSP. Now, 2 months down the line, we know you don't know nothing. And you are just a liability to us. Guess what we are going to do? We are going to find a new CISSP and kick you out. So hopefully everybody gets that piece. So the certification, if it is mandated, will get you in, but your skills and your practical know-how is either going to keep you there or your lack of is going to kick you out. Right. So, and we are going to look at the whole list of all the government roles and the different types of certifications that they require, right? And why do these government roles, do anybody know why it is a hard requirement for them to have these certifications? Anyone? You can raise your virtual hand if you know the reason why. So the reason is right here. DOD 8570 and 8140. So 8570 is the old version. The updated version is 8140. And we are going to look more into this. Now, other situations where certifications are mandated is consulting and audit firms. So, for example, Eretmis Inc. is an audit firm, cybersecurity consulting and auditing firm. We fall under this category. Now, we assess companies who accept credit card and debit card. We assess them against a framework called PCI DSS. And for us to be able to do that, there is no way around it. We need to be PCI QSA qualified, right? So the company has to have the certification PCI QSA, and then the individuals who are conducting the assessment will also have to be qualified as QSAs. So QSA is qualified security assessor, right? So this is a hard requirement. There is no way around it. If you don't have it, then you can't do the job, right? So these are, one. And if we are conducting ISO 2701 assessment, as an external assessor or external auditor, we need to be ISO 2701 certified, right? So for these ones, there's no way around it. It is a requirement. Now, for mid-level to senior level positions like, SOC lead, CISO, and others, it is expected. Now, this is not a hard requirement. It is expected that at least you have CISSP or SIM or something similar, but it is not a hard requirement. So here, it is expected, but it's not really mandatory, right? And then also for vendor partnership, when it comes to third parties that we work with or we work for, sometimes they will have a hard requirement. Your company needs to be qualified with these certifications as a company, and then also with these certifications as individuals before you can work on this project for us. Right. So maybe Eretmis wants to employ a pen testing company to come and do a project for us or work with us. And then we are saying, hey, for your pen testers, we need them to be maybe CEH certified, OSCP certified, and that is our requirement. There's no way around it. So even if you bring somebody who is very knowledgeable and has experience, we need that maybe probably because somebody else that we are working with needs that, right? So mostly in those cases, there is no way around it. Now, let's look at the DOD 857 and 8140. Now, this is like I said, you are going to get something new for your toolbox. For everybody on here, if you are not familiar with the DOD space or the government space, if you want to get a job within the government space, so i.e. working directly for the government or for a private company that is a contractor for the government, they need to stay in compliance with this, right? So this is a directive. So you see DOD, DOD is Department of Defense, the D is a directive, right? So these directive numbers 8140 is a directive that defines the cybersecurity workforce requirement for people working in the DOD side for Department of Defense. So it can, for military personnel, it applies to them. For contractors and for civilians who are working for DOD, it applies to them, right? So they mandate specific certifications for the job role, for the job roles, and also ensures that the level of knowledge and security is there. Now, reason why the DoD is really hard on these certifications, because for the DoD, that is the only way they can use to measure your level of expertise in the so that is the sense kind of behind it, which is not the whole entire truth, but that is, at least they have to find a way of measuring, right, your level of expertise. So if for the contract they need you to have Security Plus and you have it, and I think 50% of your interview is done. Now the remaining, you just have to, try a little bit harder, just a little bit, and they'll be able to put you in. That is not to say government contract jobs and DoD jobs are easy to get. You have to still prove yourself, right? But if you don't have the certification here, then you are out of the competition to begin with. Now, for this directive is based on what we call the DCWF, which is the DoD Cyber Workforce Framework. Anybody heard of this before? Okay, so if you've not heard of this is your first time. I think everybody here, we've discussed a couple of times the cybersecurity workforce framework, the general cybersecurity workforce framework for everybody, right, in cybersecurity. Now, the DoD borrowed from the cybersecurity workforce framework, and they tailored it to them to make it the Department of Defense cyber workforce framework. So the cyber workforce framework is a way for them to also kind of categorize the different positions that they have, and then also identify the work that individuals are going to be performing, not necessarily by position or title, but by other designators that they deem fit, right? And we are going to look at that here shortly. So the DCWF just borrowed from the NICE CWF, right? And if you are not familiar with the cybersecurity framework, the workforce framework, if you go to our YouTube channel, we've done several discussions on Cyber Chat on there, so you can actually learn a little bit more from there, right? Now, for the certifications, so simply put, for this directive, it assigns, based on their category, role category, it assigns or it has specific certification requirements, right? So for the information assurance technician, and there are different, titles, job titles that will fall under this, but for the category, this is the category, at least required certification, Security Plus, SSC, SSCP, Cisco, CCNA, security. For information assurance manager, at least CAP, SIM, CISA. Now they've changed CAP to something else. We will discuss that here shortly. Also for architect and engineer, they have that list. Now, this list is just, the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to show you the whole entire list, right? And if anybody is interested, we will post this in the general group and everybody will be able to get their hands on this. And I might, where do Dr. Edu get these stuff? These stuffs in the first place. I know, right? So this is the list of the whole, so the work role titles, the acronyms for the certifications, and the vendors who actually run these certifications, right? So this is a whole entire document. It gives you a background into this document is actually DoD document, right? This is the version 2 of it. So the metrics also breaks it down here. And it shows you the different work roles. So we have all source analyst, so element, intel, and this breakdown is from their workforce framework, right? But for us, we are going to make it simple and easy for everyone. Let's look at the metrics also. We have the metrics also here as well. DoD training repository. So the different types of training for the different roles. You also have that on here as well. Now, this might be a bit confusing, but let's just move straight to what is going to make it easier for us. Right. So we come down here. For the different roles, you have the work role numbers. So for all source analyst, element is intelligent cyberspace. Certifications needed for this is security analyst plus. For exploitation analyst, you should have pen test plus from CompTIA. Let's jump to, so you still have, so some GPen, that is from GIAC. And these are the different GIAC certifications that they have. And I think for the green suiters, the military folks in there, you have the opportunity to also, they will pay for some of these training and certifications for you as well, right? So the list goes down. We have some for cyberspace enablers, security plus, CAPS plus. So if you have either or, you'll be able to log this in. So as we go down, you see CISA, CISSP, CISSP, ISAP, and others. And this is the whole entire list. So all of it, right? The different roles that they have, and the element is where the role fall under. So system admin falls under IT, which in brackets is the cyberspace. Now everything else here, defense analyst, the different types of defense analysts falls under cybersecurity. You have defense infrastructure supervisors or support specialists that also falls under cybersecurity, and these are the different certifications that they have if you want to have any of these roles. So let's say Eretmis gets a contract, right? And the contracts on the contract we need maybe 2 defense infrastructure support specialists. They are supposed to have. So if we are hiring anybody that we are going to hire for this role, aside their, their skills and their know-how and what they can do, they should have this certification as well, right? And also for here, the proficiency, you can see that they have either they will let you know this is an advanced certification, intermediate, or basic. So your network plus, your A plus, they are all basic. Cloud plus, intermediate, CYA plus. So CYA plus, I even CompTIA categorize it as intermediate. I'm not sure why they have it as advanced on here, but that is how they categorize it. So pen test is also supposed to be intermediate, just like CYA plus, but I'm not sure why they have it. CEH basic, yes. CISA advanced, SIM advanced, and the list goes on, right? So this is just to kind of give you something for your toolbox. So if you are looking to branch off, or if you are looking for a role in the government side, you know now that certifications are a must. So look at what type of role you are looking for and the type of certification that is needed and pursue them accordingly. So with that, we are going to jump on, and hopefully you grab something new from that list. Now we are moving on. So this is an updated, the 8140 is the most updated, directive. And this is just to talk about the changes. So the update that was done to this is what has been listed here. So it is now focusing more on knowledge and skill and abilities, although we are still looking at the certifications as well, right? So the certifications, they play a key role, and I've explained why. Now, why does this matter? So this directive, uh, obviously for the Department of Defense, it supports DoD contractors as well. So if you want to support, so if you want to do any of these, work for DoD, if you want to support or work for a contractor, DoD contractor, or hold a clearance, a cleared or clearance cybersecurity position, then you need these certifications that have been listed and talked about, right? So with that, final take on everything that we've looked at right now, whether you need a certification or not, is that certifications are not a golden ticket. Even for the DoD side, if you have it, you still, if you thought it was a golden ticket, then if you have the certification, they're not going to interview you, right? Because if I have Security Plus, you have Security Plus, and the requirement is Security Plus, they'll still interview both of us. And what I say and what I'm able to demonstrate that I can do is what is going to give me the job, not just having the certification, because you are not the only one with the certification. So you have to go beyond the certification and get some hands-on experience, really working on real-world projects like what we do in the GRC internship and other training, right? So certifications will help you break into the industry. They validate your knowledge. Yes, if you have Security Plus, I respect you because I know what it takes to get Security Plus. Whatever certification you have, I know what it takes to get it. So my heart goes off for you. But like I said, you have to get it the right way, because either than that, you have it, but when you are showing it, you are scared because you cannot defend anything that comes with it, right? So it validates your knowledge. You can meet job requirements, hard certification requirements. You stand out of the crowd if it is not mandated and you have it. Makes you look good and give you some extra cool points. But you still need to back it up with the required knowledge, the hands-on experience, strong communication and problem-solving skills. And then also you have to be a continuous learner, right? And also work on some real-world projects like we've been talking about the whole entire time. So now we are going to be looking at the certifications, right? And then we can look at how much they pay for each of these certifications, in quotes. So before we do, we have to look at certifications based on the cybersecurity workforce categorization. So we are not going to go with the traditional one from the NIST, from the NICE cybersecurity workforce framework. We are just going to broadly, categorize or, broadly generalize everything that we do in the cybersecurity space. So broadly in the cybersecurity space, all cybersecurity professionals, they are on one of two sides. You are either doing offensive or defensive, right? Now, under defensive is where we had, kindly mute yourself. So under defensive, we are going to discuss that more because under defensive, what we do for strategy, management, governance has outgrown the normal defensive line. So now we kind of look at it as a standalone side on its own. So, but it still broadly falls on the defensive. So we are looking at offensive, defensive, and then we will look at broadly your GRC governance strategy, leadership aspect of the workforce as well, right? So if we are looking at offensive cybersecurity, we are generally talking about what we call the red team. And the red team, that is a group of cybersecurity professionals who will think and act like real hackers. We pay them to actually try to break into our systems. And whether they are successful or not, they come up with remediation strategies for us, and they identify vulnerabilities that they will help us identify vulnerabilities and give us some recommendations on how to fix them, right? So roles in these, on the offensive side, you have pen testers, red team operators, exploit developers, vulnerability researchers, bug bounty hunters. We discussed this a while ago. And some of the tools commonly used, hacking tools, Nmap, Kelly Linux, big one, Burp Suite, Metasploit, and others. Now, some of the certifications in this space, OSCP, very big one, and then we have CEH, LPT, and others, right? So we are going to look at the certifications really well under these different uh, categories or these different broad areas of security. Now, when it comes to the defensive side of cybersecurity, that is the blue team. So for the blue team, the goal, we monitor, we detect, we respond, we prevent attacks from happening. And professionals in this space includes your SOC analyst, your incident response analyst, your security engineer, security architect, and others in those areas as well. Now, some of the tools we use, SIM tools, EDR tools, firewalls, IDS, IPS, and some of the certifications in this space, Security Analyst Plus, Security Plus will fall under here as well, and others will fall under here as well. Now, aside your red team and blue team, some school of thought have come up with purple team, which is a combination of red and blue, right? Because there are some professionals who kind of are in the middle, right? They intersect both sides. So what they are doing kind of falls a little bit here, but falls a little bit there as well. But generally, we have just these two teams, right? So red and blue. But some if you want to argue further, you can have your purple team in there somewhere there, right? Now we are going to look at also somewhere in the middle ground. But this really falls a little bit biased under the defensive side, is your GRC space. So the GRC space, we have everybody else trying to manage governance, risks, and compliance. And we have your security analyst, your compliance analyst, your risk analyst, security auditors, and others, folks in senior management, CISO, security managers, VPs, director of cybersecurity, and others. Now, relevant frameworks, some of the frameworks, or here we also use tools, but just like the defensive tools, SIM tools, and others that we use, Zen GRC and other GRC tools. Some of the relevant frameworks, ISO 200, NIST frameworks, CIS controls, and others. Certifications, CISA, SIM, Security Plus, and others, ISO 2701, and others as well, right? Now, we are going to jump into the numbers here shortly, but for folks looking to jump ahead of the GRC AI governance space, we encourage you to look into our AI governance specialist training that comes with an internship as well. And like I said earlier, everybody in the security space, you need to know how to move in the cloud. So our cloud security professional training also comes with an internship, vendor neutral. You are looking at AWS, Azure, and also your Google Cloud as well. Now, if you're in the security space already and you have this on top of your toolbox, this is going to open new doors and increase your salary range as well, right? And for folks looking to start from scratch, begin from scratch, or even if you've had some training here and there, but it's been a while, maybe 2 years ago, and you want to start back up again, this is the right course for you. Our cybersecurity entry level course takes you from 0 to 100 where you would have worked on most of the projects on the blue side of security, so you are ready for the job market to start your career. Now, most of our folks on here who have visited us during Cyber Chat to talk about what they are doing on the job, mostly they went through the cybersecurity entry level course and they are currently working. That is all they did. So this takes you through 4 months of training, 2 months of training, and 2 months of internship. The internship sometimes, depending on how the groups coordinate and work well, the project will drag a little bit, but that is even better for you because that is more learning for you, and you learn by doing during the internship, right? And we help with job placement, so your resume, and the good part about this program is, and then also leading into the internship, uh, on your resume, the companies you work for during the internship goes on your resume. Projects that you do also go on your resume as well. So unlike your other counterparts who are putting stuff on their resume that they cannot defend, for you, if the interview is just going to be on your resume, you can defend every single thing on there, right? And then for folks also looking to specialize in one of the most lucrative niches in the cybersecurity space is the PCI, our PCI compliance program, payment security compliance. Now you need to be at least have some cybersecurity experience under your belt, or have some IT. You should have been in IT for a little bit to be able to jump into this. Or if you have a cybersecurity training, you can also jump into this as well, right? So, and lastly, our GRC internship and workshop. This is where we actually do cybersecurity. This year, our goal is don't just learn cybersecurity, but do cybersecurity. So this is where you actually get your hands dirty working on projects, right? So we work on 10 major projects from auditing, uh, third-party risks, third-party risk assessment itself, incident response, awareness training, vulnerability assessment, and the list goes on, right? Here you are learning by doing. And if you've gone through any other program elsewhere, and you really want to get some hands-on, this is where you are going to get that hands-on. So we encourage you to look into 24th is when we are starting the new cohort. The enrollment is still ongoing, and the site and everything is going to be posted. And our WhatsApp group, we encourage you to join. The link will be posted here shortly. And then also for our YouTube channel, we are transmitting live, and we encourage you to look into subscribing to our YouTube channel if you've not done that already. Everything that we do on CyberChat is posted on our YouTube channel, right? Now, let's look at the highest paying cybersecurity certifications by category. So before we do, just 4 people can give their take. What do you think are some of the highest paying cybersecurity certifications out there today? You can name by certification or you can name by category, either defensive side or offensive side. Which side is paying more, and which certifications do you think will be paying more? Oh, CCNA. So CCNA. Okay, we will discuss that further. Okay, SIM, CISSP, yes. I've seen some CSSP in the chat. CISO, CSSP. Okay, a lot of CSSPs in there. Wow, you guys hate Security Plus, CISSP. Okay. Any more CISSPs? Okay. Uh, CISSP caps. Okay. I'm just going through the chat. Solutions architect. Okay, so solutions architect, not necessarily a cybersecurity certification. OSCP, yes, OSCP. Okay. SIM. Okay. Anybody else thinks differently? Why is nobody mentioning CISA? Nobody is mentioning Security Plus. Yeah, I mean, so does that mean you don't get paid that much with Security Plus? What happened to Security Plus? All right, so the link for everything that we talked about is in there. The link to join the WhatsApp group, to make an appointment to talk to Dr. Idu, and free courses. Well, we have a bunch of free courses, cybersecurity entry level course, the PCI, class. We have free courses that we encourage you to take if you are new to the security space. Even if you've been in security for a while, I can assure you are going to learn something new from the free courses, right? Now, there is a lot of vote for security, CISSP. I'm a big fan of Security Plus. So CISSP, SIM, SIM. Okay, SIM is also winning. CISA, a couple of CISAs, CAPS, CISA, a couple of CISAs. Okay, and then we had Roland came up with CCNA. So CCNA is more of a network, and solutions architect is purely cloud, right? So not really much mainstream cybersecurity. Okay, so now let's find out what really the deal is. And I appreciate everybody's input. You can also OSCP, yes, OSCP also will get you there. So now, who is getting paid more than everybody else? Okay, so we are going to look at the highest paying certifications by category in terms of the red team, blue team, and then governance and operations. So by offensive cybersecurity or the red team side. So for the red team side, for most folks who were putting it in there, OSCP, you are right. OSCP, offensive security certified professional. OSCP averages 200 and 125 to 180. And why they pay this much is that in the pen testing space, OSCP is one of the most respected certifications because you are not going to write an exam and choose from a multiple choice. You're actually going to hack into 5 different systems and be able to, you have to be successful. And then once you're done, so the exams is 24 hours. Once you are done, so 24 hours, you can take a break in between by yourself. It is proctored, so you are, live hacking into these systems. Then once you're done, so it's a capture the flag exercise. Once you're done, you have 24 hours to also work on your report and submit your pen test report. And then if you are successful, I think you have to be able to hack into 3 or 4 because I think it's 100 and when I took it, it was 100 points and you have to get 80 or thereabout to pass. So there is no multiple choice here. So if you're able to pass this, then it means you know your stuff. At least you can do some hacking. Right. That is why this is well respected. Now, OSCE is also offensive security certified expert. So this is a jump from once you get OSCP, your next step, you can jump into this. And this also for all offensive security certifications, you actually do. You don't write multiple choice. You're actually going to do the hacking. So this is 150 to 210, right? So for folks who are looking to branch into the red side, your aim should be OSCP, OSCE, right? Now, some people will take CEH. CEH is multiple choice. I mean, so you can learn, anybody can learn that and pass, but that doesn't mean. So if you really want to try your skills as an ethical hacker, try OSCP or any of the offensive security ones, right? And then we have CRTO, the certified red team operator, that is 130 to 190. And then we also have OSCEP. So this is for experienced pen tester, that is 135 to 200. Now, with the range, right, it is up to you to really, push for the range. So this is the range, right? Whether you get, if you don't bargain well, you can get 150. Somebody will bargain well and get 190, right? So that is why we give that range. Now, we move into another list. That is the license pen testing, license penetration tester. That is also within the same range. And this is from EC Council. And then we have the GIAC ones, 140 to 200. This is the GXPN. For the GIAC ones, you do some hacking, and I think you also do some actual written exams. For theirs, I've not, done any of their certifications, especially in the ethical hacking side. So, but I think last time that I checked, you do both, a little bit of both. But the hardest of all is the offensive security ones, right? That one I can tell you for a fact, right? So, good money, almost all the way up to 185. to 200 and 200 plus. And then we have the certified purple team cloud, that is 125 to 175. So this is for folks on the offensive side of security. Now, why are these? And within the offensive side, the certifications that are going to earn more are the ones that are more hands-on and realistic, just like we saw. Employers are not paying you for what you know for theory. They are paying you for your proof of capability, right? So if you have OSCP, I know how it is to get OSCP. So, I'll take you over somebody who has CH, right? So with that being said, this is a summary of what we were looking at. So for the range, really the highest that we saw with this all is around 230, 240 plus, right? The minimum that we saw for the selected certifications that we are looking at is 135, 140 for the offensive side, right? Now let's look at certifications that are paying more on the defensive side. So, and then we will look at the ones on the GRC side, right? So for the defensive side, we are looking at a whole list of them, right? So we will look at them by category. We are looking at core defensive certifications, so SOC, your incident response roles. Now, for those ones, we start with the GIAC certification, so incident response handler 135 to 185. We have certified intrusion analyst, same range, but this is to 175. And then almighty CompTIA security analyst, 110 to 150, right? And the focus area, SOC analyst, alert triage, and this is mid-level SOC analyst position. Now, for the next one, Microsoft security operations analyst, 115 to 145. And this is for defense, XDR, and in demand for Microsoft heavy organizations. Now, for blue team level 1, 125 to 160. And for CREST, RCT, registered pen tester, this is on the blue side, you have 140 to 170, right? More in the UK, recognized hands-on set. So we covered everything and everybody. Now, the next category, we are doing this by categories: digital forensics and malware analysis certifications. So for the certifications, we started with the GIAC ones. We have 150 to 200. And this is for certified forensics analyst. And for the focus area is Windows, Mac, Linux forensics. We have the GIAC reverse engineering malware. That is 160 to 220. And this also focuses on malware dissection, reverse engineering. And we are looking at the computer hacking forensics investigator. So these are all the folks who will be doing our forensics investigations if there is a breach, right? 130 to 170. And certified digital forensics examiner, 120 to 150. And with that, we move into threat hunting and detecting engineering. So this also, we are going to start with 140 to 180 for threat hunters certified. And this is for focus area proactive threat detection. And we are going to look at blue team certified threat detection. That is also 125 to 160. SANS SIM with tactical analytics, we are looking at 135 to 175. And then we have MITRE and attack defender, 125 to 160, right? So I think the highest for threat hunting that we have is 180, and that is for the THCP. Now for cloud and hybrid defense certifications, your CCSP from ISC Square, 140 to 190. And the focus is multi-cloud defense and architect. Now, then we have AWS security specialist. So AWS security, if you are looking to become well-vested in AWS security, this certification is what you should get. That is 135 to 180. Now, Azure, the other version of Azure is Azure Security. And this is Azure Security Engineer, 120 to 165. And then we have GIAC Cloud Defense, that is 145 to 195. And Certified Cloud Threat Practitioner, 130 to 180. So I think GIAC Cloud Defense pays more than any of these on here, but the CCSP also almost there, right? The same. I think it beats it by 5K, right? So you can either get this or now I'll get the CCSP. You know why? Because this is cheaper, right? Like $800. GIAC certifications, you don't see them very often. You know why? Because one certification can cost you about 5K. Just check them out. The certifications, they are not joke, right? So you don't see them commonly, and mostly most people who have them is the organizations who paid for it, right? So that is the trick there. Now for leadership level defense certifications, CISSP, obviously 150 to 210, SIM 140 to 190, and then CRIX 135 to 185, right? And we are going to see these again when we look at the GRC side of the house. Now, in summary, we're looking at the highest digital forensics took the lead, 220, and then for the leadership also coming in close, 210K, right? And the defense side, not bad, right? So you can do a combination of these. If you have the leadership side and then you have some of the cloud defense, a combination of this will kind of push you over 200 plus in that space. Now let's look at the ones for defensive. So for this is for our leadership managerial side is what we are going to be looking at. But this is a summary of the defensive side. And also still the same thing. We are not looking just for theory, proof of skills, right? So certifications, yes, they are going to open the door for you. But during interviews, they are looking for what have you really done and what can you do? So these certifications, but if you do get the offer, you know your range, right? So we do this for you to kind of have an idea of, okay, if I'm supposed to get an offer and I have security plus, I have CISSP, I know my range. Now, true story, about 4 years ago, I think 4 years ago, thereabout, uh, a guy reached out to us and he wanted, I think he was interested in our PCI training. And he said he was in cybersecurity already. He was new, he had, I don't know what type of training he had, but he had gotten into cybersecurity and he was working as a cybersecurity manager, right? He had CISSP, and I asked him how much he was. I mean, I didn't ask him. He said where he was, the money he was getting was not that good, but he's holding on to it because he just wanted to get the experience. And I'm like, okay, so how much are you getting paid? And what are you doing? I'm a cybersecurity manager. I'm making 60K. Now, like with CISSP, I'm making 60K. Oh, yeah, I just want to get the experience. And I'm like, I don't know what you're smoking. But even if you are starting off, it's not 60K. At that time, I think the average salary for security was about 105, thereabout, starting off. And this guy had CISSP. He was taking 60K. So we've gone through all this list. If you want to take 20K with CISSP, somebody will pay you for it. So it is up to you, right? You have to know your value. Don't be in a hurry and don't say, oh, because I just want to break into the industry, have security plus CISSP, but I'll take 50K. At that point, I don't know what you're smoking. But even if you take 5K, somebody is going to take you CISSP, give you all the work in the world, and give you the lowest money possible because they are in business to make money, not to make sure you are taken care of, right? So you have to make sure you know your value, you are pushing for what you are worth based on the level of experience and certifications you've been able to acquire. Now let's look at what most of us might have been waiting for. So on the GRC side, leadership management side of the house, what are we looking at in terms of salary? So we are going to start off with CISSP, and CISSP 150 to 220. You can get more if you push for it, right? Now, this is from ISC Square, obviously. And why it pays more? Because it is globally recognized. Now, CISSP is, I I don't think I even stand to be corrected, is the first cybersecurity certification that was introduced in the cybersecurity space or in the information security space. So CISSP, they will say, is the golden standard. It's been around for a long time. And that was the very first one that they started with, right? So that is why, and it is not easy to get. So reason why it is not easy to get is ISC squared, they are very skilled in tricking you when it comes to multiple choice questions, right? There are a lot of people who've been in the industry for years, they still cannot pass CISSP. And it's not because they don't know, but you have to think in a certain way to be able to pass CISSP. Right. So there are a lot of work. And then also, unlike Security Plus and other certifications, that when you answer the questions and you move forward, you can always come back and make corrections. CISSP, once you answer it, you are done. There is no going back to make changes or corrections. Right. So, I mean, that is all some of the things that makes it harder to scale. Now, CISA and SIM, they are also equally good, but they are not at the level of CISSP's uh, skill when it comes to certain multiple choice questions. ISA Square, ISACA, they are a bit straightforward. If you know, you know. But for CISSP, even if you know, they're still going to take your mind to a different school. You have to, crack your brains even further because the answers are very closely related. So if you don't take care, you are going to miss it, right? So you have to think in a certain way. Now, with that, and for CISSP, mostly for the role of CISO and others, security programs manager, you'll be able to, get something around 220 and up. Now the next is SIM. So SIM is 145 to 210, and SIM is from ISACA, right? SIM, a little bit easy to scale if you know what you're doing. Not to say SIM is easier or too easy, but a little bit easy to scale if you know what you're doing. And the focus for SIM is mostly on managerial operations side of security, and ideal for security managers, VPs, director of security, and others. And then we have CRIX. So CRIX 145 to 200, also from ISACA. The focus is on risk management, risk design, and others. So for your risk managers, your compliance officers, your third party risk analysts, and others. Now we have CISA, right? So CISA 134.5 to 185. Now you can see SIM, you can even get more than CISA, but most people will shoot for CISA. But still with CISA, you can push for 200s. Also from ISACA, and also the focus is on IT audit and compliance for your security auditors, security analysts, and compliance managers as well. Now the next in the list is our certified in governance, risks, and compliance, and this is from ISC Square. So ISC Square, this is also 140 to 190. So this used to be CAP. This used to be CAP formerly. They changed the name. This used to be CAP. So the focus is on FedRAMP, risk management, regulatory mapping, and we are going to do a lot. So for your FedRAMP managers, authorization officers, really when you break it down to the basics, focus is on identity and access management for the government, right? So that's where we do FedRAMP and authorization and all that, right? So 140 to 190. So now you can be jotting down, engaging where these salaries can get you to. So certified Chief Information Security Officer, 180 to 250 plus. This is from EC Council, and mostly ideal for your CISO, your deputy CISO, your security executive. But if you get this under your toolbox as you are developing yourself, you are eventually going to get there, right? So executive level leadership. Now, mostly for these roles, equally if you have CISA, I think CISA and SIM will have more weight than your CISO. So that is just, but if you are shooting for these roles, obviously you should be shooting for more than 250 anyways, right? And then you have your ISO 2701 lead implementer certification, that is 130 to 180. And we have different bodies who are the issuers for this, right? And this is also for your compliance, your lead audit, and others. And then your certified data privacy solutions engineer, 135 to 190 from ISACA. And this also for your data privacy folks, data privacy consultants, and others. And then we have your NIST. So this is a bit new. Your NIST Cybersecurity Framework Professional. This is a bit new. 130 to 170. And this is from NIST accredited training bodies. And for GRC analysts, GRC consultants, security architects in that space, right? Now, we are going to go ahead and look at, I think we'll look at the last one and then we'll look at some tables also on here. So PCI DSS QSA, mostly we don't really add this because this is not one of the certifications that you can get on your own as an individual. But this go a bit hand in hand with your your QSA and your ISA, they kind of go hand in hand. So ISA, you work for a company, a merchant company, or a service provider. QSA, you are working for an audit firm like Eretmis Inc. Right. So for this 140 to 190, you can see 250. So for consulting companies and QSA companies, yes, they will give you anything from, I'll say 150 to 200 plus, depending on your seniority in there. Now, issuer from PCI Council and for PCI consultant, QSA leads, payment security experts. For ISAs, equally same, right? Now, you can mostly, if you have gotten to the level of QSA or ISA, you can even push further, right, than what you see on here. So this is a summary of the list that we've been looking at. So CISSP gives you maximum 220, but you can still push. SIM 210, CRIX 2K, 200K, CISA 185, CGRC 190, CISO 250 plus, ISO 180 plus, and then CDPSE 190, NCFP gives you 170, and PCI QSA 250 plus, right? So I think between, so the QSA and CISO are the leaders on here, right? But for QSA, you are not necessarily, although you are leading audits and stuff, this is more a leadership role, but then still going head to head. PCI, QSA still go, or ISA roles going head to head with this. So pretty good, right? And the list continues, right? So a whole list of it on here. Now, this list, we are not going to look at all of it, but I don't think there is any amount here that beats what we've seen so far. So we're just going to glance through these ones and then move on. Now, why the certifications that we looked at, why they are paying that high? Relevance, so executive relevance, regulatory weight, so like PCI, NIST 1, GDPR, and low supply and high demand. So mostly demand for these certifications a bit low. Supply is low and demand is high. And mostly on the government side, that's really, they need those certifications, so it's mandated, I cannot tell you enough how many, government contractors will tell you, hey, if you have CISSP, I'll take you because they don't have them. And that is not just to sell CISSP, but if it requires you to have SIM, CISA, right? If you have those certifications, they want to take you. So you just need to add something little in terms of talking intelligently about what you can do. And then that's it. Unlike other roles that if they don't need a certification, you have to really be able to convince them with what you can do and what you know, right? So the list that we saw now for the roles, roles that you can use these certifications to unlock. These are the roles, not the certifications, right? So for CISO and the rest, you can get 350 plus, security manager 200K, thereabout plus, programs manager compliance 85, 185K plus. So third party risk manager 180, auditors and risk directors 220 plus, right? So with that, that is the whole entire list that we've gone through, right? And any questions on this as we are wrapping up, you can raise your virtual hand and then we'll give you the floor. But this is the extensive 2025 list of cybersecurity certifications and corresponding salaries that you can get for these certifications. And I think there are no questions on, do I need a certification? Or I do not need a certification. And if I need one, where to start and which one to get and all that, right? So before we take questions, we are encouraging you to look into our AI governance program. Enroll in this if you want to get ahead of AI. And then also for a cloud security professional, to become a cloud security professional, if you're already a security professional and you want to learn how to maneuver in the cloud, we encourage you to join our cloud specialist class as well. This comes with also internship and hands-on, real-world hands-on. You're going to be working in different cloud environments. And then for folks looking to begin, right, if you're looking to begin, this is the right way, is to go through the entry level, right? And this is going to build you from 0 to 100. This is all you need to be able to start working in the cybersecurity space. 4 months, 2 months of training, 2 months of doing. And then for folks looking to specialize in the most lucrative niche, you saw the QSA certification was leading the chart 250 plus. So when I say this is arguably the most lucrative niche within the cybersecurity space, you know why now, right? And we encourage you to also look into our PCI DSS training. And then for folks looking to get their hands dirty, all the certifications that we saw, that we kept stressing that the certifications will get you into the door, but what you can do and what your practical hands-on experience is what is going to really secure the job for you, right? Even during interviews, and then when you do land the job, what are you going to do on the job, right? Not just certifications. If you just hang on to certifications and you have no hands-on working experience, then you are going to be what I classify as a working heart attack. They'll give you the job, but they are paying you 150 only to give you high blood pressure because you are always on the edge of your seat. You are dreading to go to work. You are dreading to open your laptop if you're working from home. Your family is happy for you because you got this, nice and cozy job working from home, but you are sad, right? And nobody knows why. And you are praying they fire you, but they're also keeping you there just to make you sick, right? And you don't want that. So get into the internship and workshop, polish up your skills, working on different GRC projects and beyond. We go beyond GRC. 80% of the projects focus on GRC, but we go beyond GRC. And our next cohort, 24th May, is when we are starting our new cohort. So also we encourage you to join our Eretmis Cyber Chat group on WhatsApp, and then also the YouTube channel. You can follow us on YouTube as well. Now, questions. I can see George Hour, your hand is up, and then Rajira, you're also going to be next. So go ahead, George. You are muted if you're trying to speak, George. Oh, still muted, George. Rajira, you can please go ahead.
Sorry, so I joined kind of late, so I might have missed this, but I was wondering, like, I just graduated with a bachelor's in computer science. Do you think it
Mhm.
would be recommended to get like a graduate degree, or would just like taking these certificates kind of cover that need?
Okay, so with computer science degree, I will get into, so yeah, I will pursue certifications, but even before certifications, I'll get into some program similar to like our entry level where we take you through cybersecurity from scratch, and then you also get to work on some projects, and then you write certifications and then get on the job before you look into getting into a graduate program in cybersecurity or any other field in the IT space. Right.
So you'd recommend like the entry level workshop you brought up
Yes.
earlier. Okay.
Yes. So, and like I always say, the advice is not for you to necessarily come to Eretmis. Even if you are looking elsewhere, get some. What I'm trying to say is get some training in terms
Yeah.
of knowledge, and then also get some hands-on work on some projects, and
Okay.
then go sit for a certification, and then put yourself out there on the job market, get a job, and then you can circle back and go do a degree, a master's degree in cybersecurity or something.
Oh, I
Right?
see. Okay. Yeah, makes
Yes.
sense.
Yes,
So
but right
like,
now, if you just move from degree to degree to degree, yes, you can go all the way up and do a PhD in cybersecurity. But when you're
yeah,
done, what are you going to do on the job?
no
Right?
idea.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
unless, of course, you are just going to go through all the way to PhD and just start teaching cybersecurity, and even at that point, what are you really going to teach? What they taught you is just what you're going to repeat, right? But you have no
Yeah.
industry experience, and you are easily going to get stuck if you're going that route, right?
Okay. Yeah. So you would recommend doing like projects first and then
Yeah,
getting
so no,
certifications.
in cybersecurity, as we are going through, when we went to the workforce framework,
Yeah.
there was something that I probably did overlook because you've talked about it earlier. In cybersecurity, we have what we call KSA, right? Knowledge, skills, ability. So everything starts with knowledge,
Okay.
right? So if you jump into a third-party risks management program, and I'm teaching you third party, but you don't have any knowledge in cybersecurity necessarily, right?
Hmm.
I might be teaching you the steps of third party, but when it really comes to the implementation, you're going to be totally lost because on the job, now you get the compliance report for PCI, you are looking at policies for companies, and the policies you are looking at, you have identity and access management policy, cryptographic policy, network policy. You are reading it, but you don't even understand what is on there because you don't have a foundation.
Yeah.
Right. But yes, but I showed you the steps, so you know what to do first, what to do second. But what you are doing first, when you dig into it, you don't really understand what is going on. Right. So
Yeah.
get a foundation first, and then you move into projects, and then you'll be ready for certifications. Right.
Okay. So
Yes.
then, um, do you also, I guess another question is, do you have, I said that's recorded. Would you be posting this anywhere so that I can
Oh,
like
yes.
yeah.
So this will be you get the streaming on YouTube, but
Hmm.
we are going to post the recording also on YouTube as well.
Okay.
Right. So mostly you have both the streaming and the recording. So the streaming, as soon as we are done, if you go to our YouTube channel, you can revisit and go through all of it before we even post the actual video.
Okay. And then lastly, the cybersecurity entry level course, that's what you were recommending, right? That,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. You're welcome. Right. George, please go ahead.
Yeah, Dr. Edu, thank you. I was trying to find out how we can get that document you used to show us the list of the certification, the one you used as reference.
Oh, okay. So you are talking about this one.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This will be posted in the WhatsApp chat, right? And then
Okay.
also in the for both the general WhatsApp chat and the one for cyber chat, right? So if you are not on there, kindly get on there and you're going to get this, right?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So where do Dr. Edu get these stuff?
Yeah.
I know, right? All right. So kindly go ahead, Baba Sola. Baba Sola, kindly go ahead. I think,
Okay. Oh, can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. I want to find out, as someone who is still going through the entry level course, can I join the internship, or I have to finish the entry level course and everything the work there before I join.
The internship. Oh, you are muted again. So if you're in the entry level, you have to be at least 80% complete before you can join the internship, if that is what you're asking. All right. Okay, so you are muted again. Collins, please go ahead.
Hi, thank you so much.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yes, go ahead, Baba. Collins,
Yeah,
kindly hold on.
sorry for that. I'm moving. So as someone still going through the entry level course, can I join the internship or have to complete the entry level course before I join the internship?
Oh yeah, you have to complete the entry level before you join the entry level, the internship. Sorry.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, sir. That's all.
You're welcome. Collins, please go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Adu. I just want to ask you a quick question. So for the internship, is it purely like hands-on or is it like a mix of hands-on and theory?
Okay, so it's hands-on, but what we do is we do this courtesy of taking you through. So if you are doing risk assessment, why we do risk assessment, how it's done, and then we show you how to conduct the risk assessment, and you and your team will go work on it. Right. So mostly we will start with, like a class session. So on Saturdays, that is where we introduce the project and we discuss it, why we do risk assessment, what framework we are going to use to conduct this risk assessment. We look at the different parts of the framework, and then what risk register are we going to use. We discuss that, and then you and your team show you how you are going to conduct the risk assessment, and you and your team will go work on it. Right. If you are working on policies, we start with what type of policies do we need as a company, right? By general policies, specific policies that we need by virtue of our compliance obligations. So we walk you through how to do that analysis, how to come up with that list. And then you and your team will go conduct risk assessment. You are going to conduct policy review on the company's policies that they have. And then also you are going to go ahead and create new policies for them for any gap in terms of policies that you identify, right?
Okay.
So you're actually going to work on these projects, but we also push teamwork and then also making you a critical thinker in the security space.
Okay. One more thing, like I know like some of these roles sometimes like they require like using some tools, some like say RSA, some would say, oh, how familiar are you with audit board? Like, do you have like any platform where someone can like have an kind of hands-on on those tools?
Yeah, so for the tools, yes, we do. But we don't do that in the internship and GRC. The tools, like for the folks doing the entry level, the last portion of the entry level is the hands-on, where they build their own cybersecurity lab. They work with different tools. Right. Now in the GRC internship, we do everything manually, exactly how you are going to be doing it on the job. Now on the job, if they have some tool to make it a bit smooth, that is a plus. But we do everything how you are supposed to do it. So for example, if you go to an interview and for the tools, there are so many tools on there, you are never going to know all the tools. And nobody is going to say they are not going to, you sound like you know your stuff, but because you don't know how to use RSA HR, we're not going to employ you. Nobody's going to tell you that. But the tool, they can train you on the tool in a day or two, right? But if you don't know how to conduct risk assessment, they can't help you with that. And it's not the tool that is going to conduct the risk assessment for you. The tool is going to facilitate what you do, but it's not going to. So for example, if I ask you right now, what tool is going to be used to conduct a policy review? You are the tool, right? You can have a tool that you're going to, that is going to send you an alert that this policy is coming up for review. But for the review itself, it's going to be you doing it, going through your Word document, going through the lines, reading, making sure everything is still relevant. And then you are going to make sure you push it up to whoever is going to sign it and bring it back. And you guys are going to, put it on there, right? So the things everything that we do it manually. So tools, because reason being that there are so many tools, you cannot. So if we use RSA Archer, the next company you are going to is using QRadar. The next company is using this. So if we are just teaching you that, but not the actual job, then you are going to be stuck, right? So the ideology here is we are teaching you how to drive. That way you can drive any car. So if you sit in a Lamborghini and their start bottom is somewhere else than the usual car, when they started for you, you can move. But if you don't know how to drive, and maybe we were teaching you how to drive Lamborghini and it has so many fancy stuff, or maybe some Tesla that is self-driving, and now we put you in a car that is not self-driving, so you have to actually drive it, then you are going to run into issues, right? So what
All
you're
right.
doing is exactly what you how to actually do the job, right? So it's like we are teaching you how to drive stick shift, and then on the job you're going to have an automatic car. Easy, right?
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
All right, Fred, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So I currently work as a BI analyst, and I'm trying to, be able to find a functional area in the cybersecurity to be able to blend both. Which route would you suggest that, I go?
Okay, so obviously the blue side, right, of security, and specifically you can be looking at the GRC management, leadership, operational area of the blue side, right? So the red side, you can do that as a hobby. But if you really want to break into security really quick, it's on the blue side, right? And specifically, if you're looking at the blue side, you can focus more on the GRC leadership managerial side, right? But still, I'm really big about foundation. So from business analyst or even a general
No,
computer science,
business intelligence analyst. So,
business intelligence analyst, yes. So I will still go through some cybersecurity crash course of some sort, right? To make sure you have you don't miss part one of the movie and you just jump into part two and three. Then every time you are looking behind you, like, why is this guy keep eating this guy when he sees him all the time? Because you missed part one of the movie, right? So I'll go through the basics, fundamentals, make sure you are solid on that. And then after that, the rest is history. Work on some projects and you can, assume any role, right? So, but if your foundation is weak, then you're always going to run into issues because, like, in your case, somebody can easily lure you into, oh, yeah, come and do third party. Oh, yeah, come and do, RMF. But RMF, third party, all that, they are all, areas of specialty in cybersecurity. So if you don't understand the cybersecurity language and the moving parts of cybersecurity, those areas you are going to encounter the moving parts and cybersecurity language there, right? So it's good to understand what is going on, and it's not going to take you years to do that. So making sure you have a good working knowledge of networking, cryptography, identity and access management, right? And the list goes on. So if you do that, now you can look into, okay, doing projects in third party, because now everything they are saying there, you understand and you can relate, right? Other than that, just learning steps for RMF, learning steps for third party, or learning, some framework and just using that. That is not going to be the whole entire story. So all the time when it comes to implementation, you are going to, run into issues, right? But if you want to work and have a peace of mind, and you can sit at any table and contribute meaningfully to any meeting without smiling and giggling because you don't know what you are talking about, then get a strong foundation and then work on some projects, and then the rest will be history. I mean, George Hour and others, Michael and others can attest to that, right? Frank and others, your foundation is always going to help you out when you least expect it, right? Even at the highest level, your foundation in cybersecurity is what is going to really help you. Victor, please go ahead.
thank you.
Yes, I know I was involved in some training some time back on the risk management framework. And the idea was, according to the trainer, if I can focus on RMF, it's easy to get, as in the jobs are easy to get, and he will supervise. When I get a job, it will help me out because it's going to be from home, working from home. I'll be able to get into my system, blah, 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 and all of that stuff. But even though I tried to look for those jobs. He helped me do the resume, but it wasn't really working. I don't know whether the resume was not strong enough, or I really don't know what happened. So I know there were one or two interviews that came in, and I, just like you rightly said, I think maybe I'm missing out in the foundation. I've never done IT anything before that time. So even though I gave some hints during the interview, but it was obvious that, I was not rich in it. So it looks as if I might just go ahead, like you have suggested, to get a solid foundation. And why I'm liking what you're saying is also because there will be hands-on experience. If I join and I, you know, do what you said you're going to do to give us hands-on, I think that might help me out as I try to pursue an IT career. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Victor. And it's good you didn't get the job
Oh
because
my
you would have
goodness.
been you would
Okay.
have been in the basket of working heart attacks, right? So now you
Right.
get a job, everybody is happy but you, because you know the truth. You know you can't do it, right? So it's like me saying, I'm going to kind of teach you how to drive, but don't worry. When you get the job as a driver, I'll be there to drive for you. How well is that going to work? Right. You might call me someday and I'll be like, Victor, you know what? I'm not really feeling it today. Meanwhile, on your job, they want you to move things from point A to point B. Now you're on your own. Right. So uh, now also RMF, if you take RMF training, if you really want to test to see if that is what you need for the cybersecurity space, try sitting for Security Plus with just RMF training and see how the exams is going to slap you left and right. It's going to sound like Greek. You wouldn't understand a thing on there. Meaning that RMF is not mainstream cybersecurity, it's a framework under compliance for just the government and government agencies, right? So it's not even all that you need for compliance. It's just a framework. And even in the government side, is one of the frameworks, one of the NIST frameworks. Then we have to look at FESMA and others, right? So if you have no IT background, no cybersecurity background, and somebody wants to teach you just RMF, that is not the right way to start, because knowing the steps in RMF, fine, that is it. On the government side, even if you got a job on the government side, is a bit easy. You don't do that much, frankly. But if you move from the government side and you are going mainstream to the corporate side, oh man, they're going to chew you, like they are going to eat you alive.
Yeah,
Right?
so that was actually what he said. That with government jobs, you have flexibility.
You
There
don't
won't
really
be
do
too
much.
much. Yes, and if you're not looking for a $200,000 dollar job every year, the government job is okay. The benefits are okay. It's still going to be 6 figures, but you have flexible time. So that was what he was emphasizing on. That
Yeah, but really, that is really no way to really start a career. You see what I mean? So you want to be confident, you want to be able to contribute meaningfully. Whatever they are talking about, you want to be able to understand. And I mean, and I think Barbie and others, Venice, there are a lot of students from us who went through entry level. They've not taken any. If you go through entry level, you can take RMF documentation, read through it, and understand what is going on. You don't need somebody to teach you because you understand cybersecurity really well, right? Now, granted, there are other frameworks in the cybersecurity space that you need guidance, right? Somebody has to show you the in and out, like PCI and others. But some others like RMF and other ones, you can easily take it and read through and understand what is going on and apply it, right? But without a really, solid background, because there are like what I'm saying is there are students who went through entry level. Entry level, we don't necessarily just teach you RMF. We teach you cybersecurity really well, give you a strong foundation. So how come our students move from entry level? They get jobs that require that they are using RMF and they are functioning and they are rock stars over there because they understand security. They don't understand just RMF. They understand security. And that, goes beyond RMF and everything else that you're going to do. The same people, pick them and put them in a third party risk analyst role. They will function. put them in like a compliance role, doing audits, they will function. Pick them and put them in a risk analyst role, they will function because they understand security, one. And two, they've worked on all these projects. They've worked on projects and similar projects, right? So that is why we have somebody like Bettina can go from being a lawyer, switching to cybersecurity within a year. She gets a job. She's a cybersecurity manager, managing people who've been in IT for 20 years plus.
Mm.
How is that possible? And she's a rock star there at her work. It's not like she's surviving, hanging on to dear life. She's a rock star there. And with compliments from her CEO, right? Talking about how she's helping them, and she's able to do that because of what we put her through, right? So unless, of course, you don't want to apply yourself and you don't want to learn, because for us, there is no magic. There is no, hey, we will get you here in the short. You have a part to play. You have to put in the effort. And if you do, we are there to guide you through. I mean, there are people on here who will even take words out of my mouth because when it comes to being there for you, assisting you, job placement, interview prep, even on the job, calling, and we are there, right? You make an appointment, call, test. We are there to support you, right? But you have to also bring your A game on and put in the work and the effort.
So the foundation and hands-on is for me, right? That's where.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You are saying you are going to send. I don't have the WhatsApp group link. If you don't mind.
It was posted in the chat. So
Okay.
you can kindly take a look at it. Yes, posted in the chat.
Thank you.
Yes. George wanted to say something. Kindly go ahead, George.
I just wanted to say exactly, you were saying everything, but I just wanted to see if I could break it down for everybody. It's like an engine in the car. So cybersecurity is like the engine. The frameworks and all those compliance are like Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and all those things. Because I came to realize that if I wanted to do HIPAA compliance, which I'm doing plus PCI, I found out there's encryption in PCI, there's encryption in HIPAA. If I don't know anything about encryption, how would I be able to survive in both frameworks or compliance? So, like he said, it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you understand the engine of the car, you'll be able to function or at least move it. Without that, you'll be sitting in the car and not be able to drive. So yeah, that's what the little thing I wanted to say. To make sure everybody goes back to the foundation before you can be able to thrive in this industry.
Okay, and George, if you can introduce yourself, well, maybe people don't know who are not part of the Eretmis family necessarily wouldn't know where George came from and what he's doing now.
So I'm a registered nurse. And then I went into cybersecurity, and now I'm doing cybersecurity. And all was thanks to Eretmis, going through GLC, going through PCI, all in 1 year. Mine was a unique case, but like I said, everybody is different. But I got all my job in 1 year. I did GLC, I got a job. I did PIC, I got a job that very year. So it works. So, and like I said, my classmates, Lumen also got one. There's a bunch of people. So it works. But like we said, the foundation has to come in first before you be able to excel in other things. Because when we go on meetings and we talk about everything, you have an idea, you know what's going on. They're talking about an incident response. They are talking about different things. They're talking about, like today, I had to contribute on policy, information security policy and implementation, and getting evidence of how that has been implemented. If I'm not able to understand how network security controls in the policy are what I need about evidence of firewalls and PCI, I mean, if I start talking like this, then that means the foundation is there. So everybody understands what I'm saying. But if you don't have that foundation, you'll be having problem articulating, and then people will be having doubts. People will start going into your LinkedIn to look at what you are capable of and start asking questions. So yes, that's all I would say.
Okay. Thank you, George. So, and like a whole bunch of them also here. I'm not sure like how many showed up to Cyber Chat today, but on that note, we are about to wrap up for tonight. I appreciate everybody's time. I think we are 15 minutes over the hour. Appreciate everybody's time. So for shout outs, I think there are a lot of Osusi Ososi. Sorry if I got your name wrong. From Miami, Florida. Roland Columbus, Manio Worcester, and we have Ernest. Oh, Evelyn, Utah. Babasola, Tucson, and then we have some team lives. Benjamin, Richmond, Texas. Some team live, some team lives. Henrietta, team live, and George from Ghana. Thank you for joining us, George. No, it's almost like midnight, past midnight in Ghana. Brian, Chicago. Becky from New Jersey, and we have Collins from Collins Mo. Which state is Mo? Or you're answering no. Abraham, we're answering stuff on here. Excellent point. Okay, Michael. And then we had the vote for Caesar and Sim and others. And then I think, oh, George from Houston. All right. So we are about wrapping up. Appreciate everybody's time. Hopefully, everybody was able to learn something new. Now, that list that I was talking about will be posted in the Google Classroom, not in the Google Classroom, in the WhatsApp group. So be on the lookout. We'll post it in there. And that is one of the benefits you get for joining Cyber Chat. You're always going to learn something new. And I encourage everyone, if there is a very first time, make it a point to join. Kelly from Pittsburgh, acknowledge if you are joining us for the very first time, you want to work in the security space, you want to begin a cybersecurity career, we encourage you to join us every Friday night. We do this, we discuss different cybersecurity topics. This is a way for you to stay ahead, to stay informed, right? And even for those who are currently working, George Hour has been working, others they've been working, but they always make it a point to join because you have to be a continual learner or lifelong learner in the security space, right? To keep up with what is going on. So we do research, we dig into stuff, different connections. We always bring you something new for your toolbox. And we have Frank also on here, Frank Osei, and some of our grandpas who are on here, Bobby and others. So we appreciate everybody's time. Have a great and wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay blessed, and let's remember Emmanuel and his family in our prayers. May his soul rest in perfect peace. And we are going to post more information about donations and stuff on the platform. That way we can help our brother's family out. So on that note, we appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate your time. And we are going to meet the same time next week. Have a blessed rest of the weekend. Good night, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much.